That's the gimmick. Remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share. Support the channel if you want. Rule of 2/3. I got to get a better camera, right? Get some better lighting in here. What do you guys think? Canon M250. Fuck, I don't know. Anyway, um, a video about what's been going on with COVID. It's been I think I'm going on 5 weeks now. So to segue into this or something like that, this is going to be a segue, a weird segue. I will say one quotation marks positive thing since I've had COVID is I actually have not had any cluster headaches in a couple of weeks. I don't know, there's some idea that cluster headaches are with your hypothalamus or whatever like that. And man, I haven't had a cluster headache in a couple weeks now, and it feels great. Great. This is to be back to just regular headaches every day and migraines. You know what I mean? Got to take what I can get because going into COVID, I said before, I think one of the reasons that COVID hit me so hard is because I had one of the worst cluster headache periods of my life. 1 week was 5 in a row, and they were on throughout the entire fucking day. So I had like 5 days where I just didn't sleep because every time it'd start to calm down, it would hit me. And it was just like, I was fucked up. It was not good. Hopefully this is recording. So anyway, it does look like I had gotten COVID from that little independent movie shoot I was at, because everyone else got it at the shoot. I guess they told me so. Only I got as sick as I did, from what I understand, which is of course probably because I had a bad period of health going into it and autoimmune diseases already on top of that. So I said before, COVID for me, man, it was again. I had started feeling sick during the weekend, but I'm always sick, so it's hard to say what was going on. But then by Sunday, I had told my friend, like, man, I don't think I'm going to make it through this walk. You know what I mean? And I went home. I had to go home. And man, within a couple hours of getting home, my body, I started shaking really bad. And I just kind of collapsed. I couldn't really walk. Man, I had, just terrible headaches, terrible body pain. The body pain almost reminded me of, not exactly the same, but the only thing I can compare it to is when I had C. diff, when I was dying from C. diff, and that gave me really bad body pain, just terrible body pain. I remember, I forget if I said this, my thumbs were shaking too, besides a regular just kind of body shake. Specifically, I remember my thumbs shaking. I forget if I mentioned that in the first video. Something else I forgot to mention. I'm getting weird. Someone must have fucking given my number somehow. Somewhere, dude. So I have this like Chilblain's lupus and everything like that, right? So one weird thing is though, it didn't make the lupus worse, but some of the toes that like get blistered and swollen, it almost looked like my toes actually legitimately broke. And I forgot to show this last time. Do you see? That toe? It looks like it legitimately fucking broke, right? Is it showing up? It got it later. That toe, it looks like it legitimately like fucking broke or something, dude. Is that? I don't know. So that was something I actually forgot to say that because I get this Chilblain's lupus, so it didn't make the rashes or anything necessarily worse or the blistering, but a couple of the toes they swelled up like they just legitimately broke. Pretty fucking weird, right? But terrible body pain, lots of night sweats. The boogers and the chest pain and everything like that was actually not the worst symptom, which is weird because I'm almost starting to cough now, which I'll get into, losing my breath. Which is weird. It was weird that the boogers and that kind of like just regular kind of flu cold thing when you think about it, that was not the worst thing, which is weird because taste, my taste is only slightly distorted. I would say maybe I've lost 10% of my taste, right? But my smell, if we're going to talk about fragrances, I've lost like 90% of my smell. And it's still like that, like extremely distorted smell. We're going on 5 weeks now. I would say I've lost like 90% of my ability to smell. Some things I can't even smell, period. And, because I'm trying all these different fragrances and all this kind of shit. And man, I have to be exactly up to my arm to fucking smell it. And if I can smell it, I don't even know. Like, I can put out some weird things like certain fragrances all kind of smell the same for some reason. So there must be just some chemical that I can smell, and then that they all share. Certain fragrances don't smell the same. Like I tried tobacco vanille recently. Tobacco vanille, the only thing I could smell in it is for some reason I could smell honey. I could smell like something that smells like honey, and I don't consider tobacco vanille to be a honey fragrance. When I think of honey tobacco fragrances, I don't think that. You know what I mean? But now it's like distorted, and I can just smell something that smells kind of like honey. Um, I can smell certain fragrances, like New Harlem. New Harlem still kind of smells like New Harlem, but say if we're comparing it to Rokas, man, I can't really smell Rokas, man. Doesn't really have a smell whatsoever. So again, there's only certain things I can smell, and smell is very distorted often. And if I can smell it, I got to be right up. So that's still the same. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I was really sick, COVID. I went to the ER eventually, and they eventually let me out. And they said I had COVID. I had a super bad week. My body was just in so much pain, such terrible night sweats. I could never get comfortable. Ended up being back in the hospital for a couple of days. They eventually gave me all those infusions of the monoclonal antibody stuff. And the weird thing about the monoclonal antibody therapy that they gave me, that night they gave it to me. Wow, I was real sick. I was at the point of, like I said, a step away from delirium. I was definitely confused. I was fucked up, but it was weird. Ever since they've given me those antibody stuff, I've actually had more of a cough. Kind of weird. And I've had some like chest pain, and it's not normally like I have an enlarged spleen just from chronic illness and all that kind of stuff, right? So when I think of heart or my spleen, I think a little bit right there. But now I have like a pain as my camera is not zooming in when I'm fucking showing. Now I get kind of a thing right there. And it's actually been pretty bad sometimes. Like earlier or at the end of this week, or like Thursday or Friday, it was feeling pretty bad actually. So that's weird. It actually brought on kind of like a cough more so and a chest thing. But the body pain, it cleared up the body pain and that kind of stuff, I guess. Night sweats have finally started to go down. Finally, knock on wood, hopefully. I guess in general, I feel like I'm still getting over kind of just a little bit of a cold, little bit of a flu. I am working out again. Again, for some reason, the body pain stuff is thankfully stopped. God, I feel like eventually, I feel like that third week at some point, I actually was sleeping very good. That was nice. Um, excuse me. Trying to think. Still can't smell, like I said. Generally better. Night sweats have calmed down. Body pain has calmed down. Now I have this kind of chest pain with the cough a little bit, and I have like kind of a sore throat and some boogers. That is actually almost, I feel like, gotten a little bit worse for some reason. And I know my doctors have been, one of my doctors specifically is trying to get me to take ivermectin. And I didn't know. I guess she said that ivermectin is also good for people that have long haul COVID. So she said to try it for a couple days, basically. And I tried to get it filled at the pharmacy. And the pharmacy told me that it's on back order, but they don't know when they're going to get it. And I'm like, well, when do you think you're going to get it? She's like, oh, well, it could be a week, could be months. What? Could be week, could be months. What does that mean? So I don't know. I guess I'm going to try the ivermectin as soon as I can get a pharmacy that will give it to me. I mean, the doctor prescribed it for me, but, you know, I don't know. All this fucking propaganda with the media, you know what I mean? So anyway, I guess I was going to try a low dose of that for a little bit. See if that clears up some of the little bit of symptoms that are still going on. You know, chest thing, hopefully the smell a little bit. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything else to say that I haven't said before about COVID. So yeah, generally better. Still kind of fucked up, but generally better. Knock on wood, I guess, besides the chest kind of booger kind of thing, right? Sore throat too. Sore throat was pretty sore recently, but like I said, that's just something that's just randomly hitting me now. It's weird. I don't know. Anyway, remember if you like the videos, like, sub. Still comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. The end. Thanks.